Greetings, I am Gronk the Gore-May, best war chef you know. We are doing something a little bit different today. Many people have said that Gronk is invited to go to different adventuring places called Larps all over the country. And now that plague is getting under control, Gronk has decided to do this and is starting with a place called Vail of Ashes. It is in the kingdom of Georgia, and Gronk have done it a little bit and is very excited about it. And have with us Paul Troy. He is a great storyteller and bard, and he is going to tell us about Vail of Ashes. Hello, Paul. How are you?
Hey, great, Gronk. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing
Good.
So this what is this thing called LARPing?
LARPing? It stands for live action roleplay. It's basically anybody who enjoys the fantasy world, Lord of the Rings. You even have Civil War reenactments.
Mm-hmm.
You have various different types. They all kind of fall under the same blanket of live action roleplay.
So it's like having a little adventure for you.
It's like, having an adventure, stepping out of your own skin, playing the persona of somebody else for a weekend.
That sounds very interesting. Gronk don't know about it. Playing somebody else for a
Right, it would be very hard for you to get in somebody else's skin, I can say that.
It is difficult because
Right.
Gronk is always Gronk.
Right.
So, now your LARP is called Vail of Ashes.
Veil of Ashes, that's right.
What is this veil?
Yes. So the premise, and Gronk, I can't tell you too much, because if I tell you and I tell the world, then shh, right?
Anything he says is secret. Don't tell nobody.
Thank you. So Veil of Ashes, the idea behind it is that the player base will come into a world that is basically in danger and is in need of saving. So the idea from that point forward is, do the players choose to save this world? Do they choose not to save the world? Right? It's totally up to the players at that point what happens. And that's really about where we're at. So once we get things going.
And this is fantasy realm. So
And this is a fantasy world.
all
yes.
kinds of magic and
Yes,
chanting and caring about.
there's orcs, just like yourself.
Good thing.
Right. There's orcs, there's humans, there's elves, there's dwarves. There's other types of characters that we've created. So there's magical creatures, there's fighting creatures.
Berries.
Yes.
Are they tasty?
I don't know. You would have to tell me that.
Okay.
Yes.
Gronk have a really good recipe for deep fried fairy wings.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Very tasty.
I mean, I don't know that I'm gonna try them, but
Hobbits?
we do. We have. Well, they're called hobblings, but they're a similar idea, right?
They are also tasty too.
Well, I mean, sure, Gronk. I guess they're tasty. I'll let you be the judge of that.
Okay.
All right. Fantastic.
So you can play these different things?
Yeah, you can play any character that you want, any persona that you want to build for yourself. There's no limitations to that.
So you can be like fighters.
You can be a fighter, you can be a mage, you can be an assassin.
Ooh.
Yes, there's
Sneaky suckers.
sneaky suckers, exactly, right? And then we also have people who maybe don't want to get involved too much in the physical combat that comes along with some LARPs like ours, where they just want to interact with the game from the sense of being a tradesman or an artificer, as you would call it, right? A craftsman,
stuff.
making things, right? So you make and sell things, you trade things. You're more involved in the economy of the world as much more than you are involved in the physicality of the world. So,
Have you put? Is it?
I don't know if they're
interesting.
tasty. If you can ask that.
No.
Okay.
Is interested about the economy of the world. Is it coin based? Is it trader based? Is it
It's going to be trader based, right? So there's going to be
like a giant swap meet?
Yes, exactly that, right? So if you have a good or service that you have created, there's various different components that you will use. Consider it a recipe. You probably know much about recipes, right? So put this into that, and it creates this other dish. Gronk could be a chef.
Ooh,
Yes, we
that
did
sounds
that.
exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, you can make your wares, if you will, and then they become valuable assets that you can trade and barter with other things with other players.
They can maybe make business in deep fried pixie things.
It may be very good. Could be good business.
I think it's a good idea. Don't tell the pixies.
Right.
Now this is brand new, Larp.
It is. It's very brand new. Yep.
This was first.
This was actually not our first official event that you've come to. What we had this weekend was just a preseason community event. So we just invited players out just to get to know one another. We also allowed them to create their characters. So we have people came, put their characters on the books, if you will. And then last night we went on a little adventure together.
And how did that go?
I think it went pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of people like it?
A lot of people liked it, a lot of good feedback. So I think it went really well. And the very first official event will be at the end of July 24th of this year.
July 24th. Put it on your calendar. And it is, where are we at?
This is Hard Labor Creek. So Hard Labor Creek's in Georgia. It's more west Georgia. So it's about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Atlanta, the Kingdom of Atlanta. Or was it the Kingdom of Georgia?
Kingdom of Georgia.
Kingdom of Georgia, which would be the Duchy of Atlanta. Is
Yeah,
that how it works in your
that
world?
sounds good.
Okay, all right, yeah. So in Atlanta, about 45.
Gronk never put too much thought into these things.
Right, I can probably say that. So yeah, we're about 45 minutes an hour outside of Atlanta to the west. Hard Labor Creek is kind of a big location. It's a big state park. So there's multiple campsites, and this is one of them called Camp Rutledge. It's the largest of the sites in Hard Labor.
It's very big, very nice.
Very big, yeah. I don't know how many acres it is, but it would take you quite a while to walk this site.
Lot of walking involved in this LARPing
There's
stuff.
definitely a lot of walking. Definitely a lot of walking. We're in sort of the center of town right now, so this is where most people kind of congregate. But there's different little villages, if you will, with cabins. So on various different locations around site, you can walk 5 minutes that way, and there's 8 or 10 cabins. You walk 10 minutes that direction, there's 8 or 10 cabins. So it's just a wonderful site for games like ours, like Larp.
Being a brand new game,
Yep.
any kind of challenges that was happening, and also, if I am correct, you actually tried to start this
Yeah.
when the plague hit.
Yes. So
You
that's
had to wait.
We did. So that's two very different questions. So the challenges with starting a game, there's many, right? You have to create a system, a rule system that you have to put together, and you have to challenge your own thinking. You have to think about things outside of your own wants and needs, right? So I may love the idea of one thing, but does it fit into the game world? And you have to sort of work on that. Then you got to create the rule book, which is
A lot of detail oriented
it's a
stuff.
lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of work that we put into it.
And you put all that work into it.
Yep.
And then plague hit.
And then the plague hit. We were literally about to have our very first event ever. This was, the time frame's a little off in my mind. I think our very first event was going to be March 28th of 2020. And we were set and ready to go. And all of a sudden we started hearing about this thing called COVID. And within, yeah. So within about 3 weeks after starting to hear about COVID, it became serious, and we canceled our very first event because it was just, nobody knew what was going on. So it was just
Better be safe.
better to be safe, And we continued on early on to think that it was going to go away, right? I think everybody kind of believed that okay, this thing's here in March, but by April it'll be gone. We went into lockdown for a couple of weeks. So everybody sort of believed it was going to happen, and it just kept going. So we would just keep canceling events, and it was a hit. It was a hit to the morale of the team because there was a bunch of us who were working on this.
Yeah.
So it was difficult. You know, you're ready to go for this thing. You put hundreds of hours into creating this thing, and all of a sudden you have to just stop and you can't do it. And it was a morale hit to a lot of people.
Cannot even begin to understand. Imagine what that would have been like.
It was hard.
But
It was hard.
Gronk will say, from Gronk's personal experience at this adventuring thing called Larp, the work and even the delay of the plague has made a very good adventuring time. Gronk had a very, very good time last night.
Great.
Excellent time. Very interesting people and a lot of talking, a little bit of not really fighting but scary stuff happening. And it was really great time. So Gronk, definitely recommend if you are in Kingdom of Georgia, you come and play this game at least once.
Yes.
So that being said, last thing, not the question, but if you have anything else that you want to say to all the 12 fans of Gronk,
All 12 of them?
all 12 of them,
Okay.
you go ahead and tell them what they need to know to want to
Okay. All right. Putting me on the spot. Gronk, appreciate that.
come. You're welcome.
All right. So yeah, we would love to see everybody to come out. If you're interested in LARPing at all, if you're in the Georgia area, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida, we have people from Florida that come up. If you're interested in coming out, we would love to have you. We would love to see you at our game, and hopefully, if you're LARPing in your own areas, hopefully you're getting back to it soon.
That is that. Thank you for watching this very first Gronk on the Road series. Forget to bring his blood wine bottle. But drink blood wine, eat like Gronk. Thank you very much. Ah!
Oh, jeez. You burped in my face.
Down.
It's fine. We're good.
My mouth is closed. I'm fucking with Gronk. Gronk will burp in your face.
Gronk. Come on. Alright. Okay. Alright. Yep.
This is actually part of the process, unfortunately. For some reason, once the camera gets rolling, I get burpy.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's an
Nervous
anxiety
tick. A
thing.
nervous tick. It's kind of funny. Just start this.
Every once in a while, it'll get really bad in the middle of the video, and I like include it in like series of burps.
Oh, is this how you warm up your voice?
Yeah, I think Gronk's vocal exercises.